Hey friends, how you doing? It's Charles here, and I just finished reading She, The Return of the Warrior #2, and my goodness, I'll get into the story a little bit, but to me, the biggest part of this book, the biggest highlight is the damn art. It is beautiful. So we're going to talk about the art. The story is very well put together and written. It goes chronologically from the time it was printed up until now. So we see she as 15 years older and she has a daughter and she has left the life of a samurai behind. And she wants her daughter to have the normal life that she wasn't able to coming from this ancient order of samurai. But unbeknownst to her, her grandfather, who was living with them, had been training her daughter. And so there was lots of interesting things going on. Um, Issue number one, an enemy from 15 years ago that she had locked away had escaped prison, and there was this doctor who he attacked who seemed kind of shady. I'm gonna be honest with you. After he escaped, trying to get information from her, and so she is forced to put on this persona again of she, which I guess translated in Japanese means death. And so here she is putting back on that guise and getting in the headspace. And, you know, she has so many conflicts in this with her grandfather, who she is upset has been training her daughter, with herself, with, so much going on. Like I said, I'm not going to give you a play by play of the story because it's so deep and it's really something you can enjoy when you get into the book. But long story short, we get to the fight scene, the climactic scene between her and the escaped convict who is after her and her family. But we come to find out that the psychiatrist who was jumped and had his office ransacked was a bit duplicitous. In his sessions with this criminal, he became obsessed with not only the criminal, but with she herself. And he staged the attack and everything to get her out of the house so he could kidnap and hurt her daughter for some reason. And during this fight scene, this beautiful fight scene with the escaped convict, we find out that he is not the bad guy of this particular story, that he is just a pawn who was actually trying to save her. And, we talk about beautiful art. Here we see the great big reveal of her and all of her costume here. And my goodness, it's hard to even describe how beautiful this looks, and with the action, with the kicks, everything is drawn beautifully, and it's almost like a dance sequence, a violent dance sequence. And they're actually fighting in a beautiful Japanese garden. I mean, this is just a delight to look at itself. And the combination of the brilliant art and the vibrant reds that we see in here against the green and the action and the swooping of the swords, we have a story that is just as well written as it is drawn. Who is the artist on this? I want to give them some credit, show them some love. Yeah, the team on it is Tucci, Peros, Lima, and Hi-Fi Design. So that is the team. I'm not seeing if they go into too many specifics here in the preamble about who exactly did what. I'm not seeing that. And also another underrated thing too about this book is I've noticed a lot of books right now, they, even though they're serialized, they jump right into the action without giving you any history. But the very first page here gives you a history of all of the lore behind She, going back to the 14th, 15th century, and then it tells you what happened in the previous issue, and then we get right to the action. So I really appreciate that. It's very hard to get into a lot of modern comic books because they just jump right in and assume that you read the previous book. But this really hits, so many right notes, from the preamble to the brilliant art and to the writing itself. And it's going to be continued in a book called Shi Haikyo #1, and that comes out February 12th. And so that's going to be on the front of my list. In the back here, we have a cover gallery with even more beautiful art. Kind of a funny panel here between she and her daughter. So that's been my thoughts on She, the Return of the Warrior, put together by Crusade Comics. But yeah, this is one of the better comic books I've read in a while. Check it out. Issues 1 and 2 are out right now. And like I said, we get that new series starting in February. It's supposed to be 2-book series. And we left the cliffhanger of her daughter being kidnapped by a psychiatrist and her grandfather being murdered. So looks like we're gonna have a team up between her and her old foe. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Really enjoyed #1. #2 was even better. And I think for guys, it took 15 years in between books. It's held up great. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. And if you don't have a comic book store that you go to regularly, I would suggest my friend Jeff over at Coffee and the Comics out of Huntington Beach. They have a great, easy-to-use website at www.coffeeandacomic.com. You get free shipping on orders over $69. But if you're like me and you order weekly, I get a shipping subscription, $23 per month, and I get a box sent out to me every week. So tune in to my channel Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Mountain Time for those unboxings. Until next time, I'll see you later.